What's brackin', guys? Welcome to another episode of my Mansfield Town playthrough in Football Manager 2015, excuse me. And so we'll get right into the first matchup of March. Of course, February was the last month we recapped, and it was not the best result, as you can see. Lost 4-0 to Newport County, and you'll see basically a lot of guys had terrible games. Wasn't too much we could do about it. A lot of, just changes in the squad due to match congestion. Sutton wasn't starting at right back like usual. Thomas wasn't playing. And you'll see Luke Jones had a very bad game, as did Lee Beavers. So that always hurt us. When our right back and left back have a bad game, that's always a bad sign, because they're not really playing in a very comfortable position for them per se, just because of they aren't really true left backs and right backs, in my opinion. They don't really have much speed or anything. They're just there as almost wide center backs. And of course, we did play that little diamond and did not work at too much success at all. So that was a very heavy loss, unfortunately, in the first matchup. Then we were able to bounce back, however, with a 1-0 win against Cheltenham. And Jack Thomas was able to grab the goal for us. It was definitely a very tight match. You can see a lot of fouls from us. It wasn't too much from either side, but go to formations here, look at the match report and everything. You'll see Ravenhill was in the midfield next to Jack Thomas. Clements was, of course, behind the two strikers in Oliver and Hearn, Dempster, then Beavers, Sutton, Tafazoli, and Jones. One thing that also has, of course, came out has been the Riley injury. Of course, that has been a very tough deal as well, which I think has really affected our defensive performance as well. But I'll go back and take a look at the goal again. My bad on that. But yeah, it was definitely a tough matchup. It's going to be tough. It has been tough in general trying to get through that big injury to our key defender. So we'll see here Jack Thomas's goal. Oliver is basically a quick counter. Hearn playing Thomas through, and Thomas is going to finish. Some great composure from the young man right there. Just getting, so much playing time for us as a youngster. Of course, again, we'll take a look at his ratings, excuse me, as my mouse is freaking out. But take a look at Thomas now at his rating here. Of course, his finishing has been great. 13 finishing. His first touch is improving. Look at his tackling. Makes him a really adequate ball-winning midfielder, central midfielder. Can probably play more on support now, but I think he's best set at attacking due to his finishing ability. So we'll see if he can continue to improve for us. But the next two matches in the episode were very poor, as you'll see here. Bury just went in on us. It was Hallam Hope again. He destroyed us previously, and again he grabbed a brace against us. We actually didn't play tremendously bad. I mean, Tavazoli and Sutton in the middle weren't the greatest. Jones and Beavers did have a decent game, and Ravenhill was very solid, but could not get any production really from Hearn, Reed, or anyone of that sort. And we'll see, Clements wasn't hurt in this match. We'll see coming up. He does pick up a big knock, so it's going to be very tough going through the rest of the final month of the season without him. AFC Wimbledon here was another pretty poor loss, I have to say. Of course, they do have some quality, but we dispatch of them pretty easily early in the season. I had to play a very mixed lineup again. We've been hit with. I've been just had to try to turn things around. Basically, I didn't want to have the same fate. And we'll see here, Kemen for the first goal at least. It was Kemen over the top. It's gonna fall back. Bingham plays Fisher in. Basically went back to a very direct 4-3-3. I thought it showed well for us, but unfortunately we couldn't grab the results. As you can see, take a look at the formation again. It was just you can see they had a lot more shots really. Simon Heslop had to play, and he just did not play well at all. The veteran, he's definitely going to be let go. He's been asking for playing time and everything. He's just not good enough, as you can see. I also played the youngster Dan Fletcher. He has some good potential. I think he could be a very good striker for us. You can see his potential and then it looks like that darked out fifth star means like He can go above his potential. I believe he's still kind of figuring out his potential, but be a good player. So that's how we did. We basically just try to play direct. Unfortunately, it did bring us 1 goal, but other than that, we gave up 2 pretty poor goals. But came back against Hartlepool in York and did well. We'll see this match. There's not too much going on at all, but we actually... I screwed up with my formation. I played Junior Brown up top on accident. I do not know what happened, but we'll see here. Basically, Bingham came off late. I believe then Riley came on finally to return as a defensive sub. As you can take a look at the formation, it just wasn't bad at all. You could see, of course, that was screwed up on my part, but I believe it was Reed that would come in for Brown. And just again, very direct. We decided to move Clements back as an attacking playmaker, sent on support. But you'll see the goal from Oliver here. Good to see him getting into some form, because I'm still not sure if we're going to bring him back or not, because he is on his last year of his contract with his previous side. We'll see just some good stuff. Bingham played Oliver through for the goal there. So good performance in that match. Played well defensively and everything. So that was a good result. And then here against York, again, I believe it was another... This was, if you can see, Clements had to come off. He got a knock here, and we'll see his knock is going to be out for 6 to 10 days. So I think he's going to miss a match or 2 at the least. But he's been improving nicely, so it was a bit disappointing. But either way, we were able to take advantage of basically one of the few changes we had. As you can see, the formation was again with Oliver, Bingham, Reed. Then once Clements got hurt, we brought in Jack Thomas in that spot as a center, made set on attacking. I believe on support, not sure, but we'll see. It wasn't bad at all. Reed, the veteran, has been coming up really big for us. So because of that, I re-signed him a little bit. I could probably find a better option, but he's been reliable. He has good heading to come on late in the match as a target man. Could probably even stick him back, deep in late in the match to use his heading ability to help shore up a game. But you see, that was a great goal from him, so definitely we'll take that any day. But with that, we'll take a look at the where we are on the table. Of course, we've just been staying around. 52 points. 5 points behind Morecambe, but look at that. Look at our goal differential. Is pretty terrible. We've given up a lot of goals. That's just a lot of goals. You'll see. Let's see, 56. We're one of the probably, looks like we're about 5th worst when it comes to goals or something like that. But I mean, we've given up a lot, so it's been pretty frustrating. But we've done well to stay in the game, basically, with a month and another. We're gonna have a month left, another game left, basically. Clements is up there in key passes. Ravenhill, red cards, up there in yellow cards, along with Lee Beavers. Shots on target, Jack Thomas. It's nice to see him taking more shots and having them be on target. Wow, that was just so weird to say. But we'll take a look at the schedule again as we go into the next set of matches. So we have 7 matches left, basically. So I'll be recapping, likely. Might do some live comms, but of course, you can never guess with the way that OBS is, if it will actually record live. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully it will actually start working for me, because I know there's a patch just came out and maybe that will fix it all. So we'll see how that goes. But definitely hope to have some more episodes out soon. Really hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, because it has been quite lovely for me. But yeah, my booty's clapping like crazy right now. And so you'll see here some of the movements we made. We put Matty Blair out on loan. He has some nice speed and he can come on late on the match, but I just don't want to have crap going on in the squad that makes them pissed off. Same with McGuire and Lamb. And then Clements, of course, is out. Ravenhill, another suspension. I believe he's out for 2 matches. Just 10 yellow cards. That's crazy. But a bit disappointing, because he's been pretty solid lately. But we can have Kemmins step in. Fisher, of course, was doing well. Then we have Hearn, who we did re-sign for next season, but has been a bit inconsistent lately. So maybe kind of starting to regret that. But he has still shown well for little appearances. 17 appearances, 6 goals. That's not bad. We'll take it at least. But definitely need him to improve going into next season. Probably going to have to look for another striker, to be honest. Hope we can find a good regen. But actually, speaking of that, we've actually brought in some guys for that under 18 squad as well. Some of the guys we were able to bring in, the regens. Tony Varney looks pretty solid here. Decent passing, vision, work rate. Looks like he can be a solid central midfielder for us. Maybe a future, basically teammate. He's going to play next to Jack Thomas eventually. We'll see how that works out, but hopefully we can get some more decent players. We had some guys who looked a lot better, but of course the scout saw them eventually, and they were as great as we had hoped. But taking a look at some other guys, I brought him in before, of course, but he's starting to develop a little bit more. Hope to see his passing improve. Shabat Ismail, my best attempt at pronouncing that. Louis Dankwa is definitely could be a solid left back for us in the future, but needs to develop a little bit more. Especially his marking needs to improve quite a bit, as well as his positioning. Looks like he may be more of a left mid, basically a defensive winger at left mid. But Adam Bishop, of course, quality goalkeeper. He's gotten I believe he got one appearance for us in the season. I guess he did not. He's just played in all non-competitive matches, but he might get his debut eventually. If we're out of the picture for the playoff spots coming up, we'll definitely give him a go. And of course, Chris Spencer here actually looks like he could be decent as well. Marking, passing is all good, but of course we have Liam Marston, who just came back into the squad from loan. That's another guy who I think is really promising for us, but he is starting to make the bench now just because of his ability as a crosser. You'll see he's grown pretty nicely. His passing is solid, marking is solid, crossing, of course, pace, stamina, natural fitness. So I definitely think he can be a solid player. He did really, really good out on loan. You can see his first loan, he played 17 appearances, had 2 goals, 2 assists, 5 man of the matches, and of course he went on a very short loan, and we brought him back because we want him for cover. And of course, if we do get knocked out, we can start playing him, give him some more appearances to help him develop a little bit more. But it's going to be a very exciting end of the season as I round out this episode here. But definitely hope to have some live comms. We'll see how OBS reacts after this one, and if it definitely works out well, then I think we'll have some live comms coming up to end the season. With that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you guys later.